ॐ शुक्लाम्भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। महासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதி ஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. வாகர்த்தாபிப சம்பிரக்தௌ வாகர்த்த பிரதிபத்தஹே ஜகதः பிதரௌ வந்தே பார்வதி பரமேஸ்வரௌ. ஸ்ரீ பார்வதி பரமேஸ்வராभ्यां நமः. कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं हनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि आर्तान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशी विभूषितकरात् नवनीरधाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने. കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മന്യനെ കുമ്പീരേണ്ടാത്തോരു രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കെന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Okay. All right. So we'll do a review of 25. I think we can split that since it's a big one. Maybe Viji Niglo and Preeti, can you do half?
Sure, Rajesh.
And then Madhu, you can do 26.
स्तम्भे नरसिंहावतारवर्णनं स्तम्भे घट्टयतो हिरण्यकशिपोः कर्णौ समाचूर्णयन् आगूर्णजगदण्डकुण्डकुहरो घोरस्तवा भूद्रवः श्रुत्वा यं किल दैत्यराजहृदये पूर्वं कदाप्यश्रुतं कम्पा कश्चन सम्पपात चलितोऽपि अम्बोजभूर्विस्तरात् दैत्ये दिक्षु विश्रुतचक्षुषि महासंरम्भिणी स्तम्भता सम्भूतं न मृगात्मकं न मनुजाकारं वपुस्ते विभो किं भीषणमेतदद्भुतमिति व्युद्भ्रान्तचित्ते शुरे विस्फुर्जद्धवलोग्ररो मविकषद्वश्मात् समाजृम्भताः.
Vijay, and just on the third line after Adbhuta Miti, there is a comma. Okay. And Bhishanametad Adbhuta Miti.
Miti. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a comma. Okay, keep going.
तप्तस्वर्ण सवर्ण घूर्ण दतिरूप साक्ष्यं सता केशर प्रोत्कंप प्रणिकुंवितांबर बरमहो जीयात् वेदं वपुः व्याप्त महादरि सकमुखं खड्गोग्रवल्गन् महाजिह्वा निर्गम दृश्यमानसुमहा दंष्ट्रायुगोद्दामरम् उत्सर्पद्वलिभङ्गभीषणहनु ह्रस्वस्तवीयस्तरग्रीवं पीवरदोसतो गतनक क्रुरांशु दूरोल्बनं व्योमोलङ्गि गणागणोपमगण प्रध्वान निर्धावित स्पर्धालु प्रकरं नमामि भवतस्तन्नारशेम्मं वपुः.
And the first line left, and the Hannum, if you had it, just remove that im to be consistent. I think we changed last time. And the Hannu, Bishana Hannu. Okay.
And okay, got it. Bishana Hannu. Yeah. Okay. Nunam Vishnurayam Nihanmya Mumiti Brahmya Gadabhishanam Daityendram Samupadravanta Madruta Dorbhyam Pritubhyamamum Viro Nirgalitota Kadgapalakau Grinan Vichitra Shaman Vyavrinvan Punarapapata Bhuvana Grashodhyatam Twamaho.
Twamaho, last one. Twamaho.
Last one. Twamaho, yeah.
And then the fourth line after Vyavrinvan, there is a comma, okay? And the Grinnan Vichitra Shaman, Vyavrinvan, comma. Okay.
Got it.
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Brahmyantam Ditija.
Sorry, which is 5 minutes. Yeah.
Brahmyantam Ditijatamam Punarapi Brogruhyatopyam Javat Vare Toru Yuke Nipatya Nakaran Vyukkaya Vaksho Bhuvi Nirbhindannati Garbha Nirbhakalat Raktambu Bhakto Savam Payam Udairayo Bahujagat Samhari Simharavan. Sorry, I change of book. Sorry.
Seventh stanza.
Tyaktvatam Hutamashu Raktalahari Siktonamatvarshmani Pratyutpatya Samasta Daitya Patalim Chakatyamane Tvayi Brahmyat Bhumi Vikampitam Putikulam Vyalola Shailotkaram Protsatpat Kacharam Characharamaho Tustamavastam Tadau.
Preeti, first line la Hatamashu. Okay, you said Hutamashu or some other word.
Hadam potrukkinga.
Okay, no worries. This must have been a slip.
Okay, should I change it to Sha?
No. I think I'm saying the word is Hatamashu. Ninga, when you said it, you said something else.
Hatamashu padichen.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Tavan Mamsa Vapak करालवपुषं घोरान्द्रमालाधरं त्वां मध्ये सभमित्थ कोपमुषितं दुर्वार कुर्वारवम् अभ्येतुं न शशाक कोऽपि भुवने दूरे स्थिताभीरवः सर्वे शर्वविरिञ्च वासवमुखाः प्रत्येकमस्तोषत
I think correct only. Mukhaha. இந்த விசர்கா இருக்குங்க.
Okay. भूयोऽप्यक्षतरोषधाम्नि भवति ब्रह्माज्ञया बालके प्रह्लादे पदयोर्नमत्यपभये कारुण्यभाराकुलः शान्तस्त्वं करमस्य मूर्धनि समदाः स्तोत्रैरधोत्कायतः तस्या कामधियोऽपि ते निथवरं लोकाय चानुग्रहम् एवं नाटितरौद्रचेष्टितविभो श्रीतापणीयाभितश्रुत्यन्तस्फुटगीत सर्वमहिमन् अत्यन्तशुद्धाकृते तत्तादृङ्निखिलोत्तरं पुनरहो कस्त्वां परो लङ्घयेत् प्रह्लादप्रिय हे मरुत्पुरपते सर्वां यात् पाहि माम्.
And the last word, sarva mayat pahimam.
सर्वामयात् पाहि माम् सर्वामयात् पाहि माम् सर्वामयात् पाहि माम्.
I think on the last entire line, you don't have to repeat it now, but the entire line you say 3 times, okay?
Oh,
Prahlada Priya He Marut Purapate. No, both of you did really well. Tough chapter, but I think you guys have practiced well. Okay, Madhu.
कृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः. दशकं 26 गजेन्द्र मोक्ष वर्णनम्. इन्द्रद्युम्नः पाण्ड्यखण्डाधिराजः त्वद्भक्तात्मा चन्द्रनाद्रौ कदाचित् त्वत्सेवायां मग्नधीरालुलोके नैवागस्त्यं प्राप्तमातिथ्यं कामम्.
The second line, just Chanda. You said Chandra. That is just a da. Chanda Nadro. Yeah.
Chanda Nadro. कुम्भोद्भूतिः संभृतक्रोधभारः स्तब्धात्मा त्वं हस्तिभूयं भजेति शप्त्वाथैनं प्रत्यगात्सोऽपि लेभे हस्तीन्द्रत्वं त्वत्स्मृतिव्यक्तिधन्यम् दुग्धाम्बोधैर्मध्यभाजित्रिकूटे क्रीडन् शैले यूथपोऽयं वशाभिः सर्वान् जन्तूनत्यवर्तिष्ठ शक्त्या त्वद्भक्तानां कुत्र नोत्कर्षलाभः स्वेन स्थेम्ना दिव्यदेशत्वशक्त्या सोऽयं खेदान प्रजानन् कदाचित् शैलप्रान्ते घर्मतान्तः सरस्यां यूथैः सार्धं त्वत्प्रणुन्नोभिरेमे हुहुस्तावद्देवलस्यापि शापात् ग्राहीभूतस्तज्जले वर्तमानः जग्राहैनं हस्तिनं पाददेशे शान्त्यर्थं हि शान्तिदोषि स्वकानां त्वत्सेवाया वैभवाद् दुर्निरोधं युध्यन्तं तं वत्सराणां सहस्रं प्राप्ते काले त्वत्पदैकाग्रसिद्ध्यै नक्राकान्तं हस्तिवर्यं यथास्त्वम् आतिर्व्यक्तप्राक्तनज्ञानभक्तिः शुण्डो क्षिप्तैः पुण्डरीकैः समर्चन् पूर्वाभ्यस्तं निर्विशेषात्मनिष्ठं स्तोत्रं श्रेष्ठं सोन्वगादीत्परात्मन् श्रुत्वा स्तोत्रं निर्गुणस्थं समस्तं ब्रह्मेशाद्यैर्नाहमित्यप्रयाति सर्वात्मा त्वं भूरि कारुण्यवेगात् तार्क्ष्यारूढः प्रोक्षितो भूः पुरस्तात्
Last line. Prekshito bhuf. You said prokshito, it's prekshito bhuf purastat.
प्रेक्षितो भूः पुरस्तात् हस्तीन्द्रं तं हस्तपद्मेन धृत्वा चक्रेण त्वं नक्रवर्यं व्यदारीः गन्धर्वेऽस्मिन् मुक्तशापे सहस्ती त्वत्सारूप्यं प्राप्य देदीप्यते स्म एतद् वृत्तं त्वां च मां च प्रगे एतद् वृत्तं त्वां च मां च प्रगेयो गायेत् सोऽयं भूयसे श्रेयसे स्यात् इत्युक्त्वैनं तेन सार्धं गतस्त्वं धिष्ण्यं विष्णो पाहि वातालयेश श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः.
Very nice. Okay. Good job, everyone. Okay, we'll start with 27 and we'll get into a little bit of 28. So 27, 28, 29 is like one set. It's all stories feed into each other. So those three are all together. It starts with Kurmavataram, then it will go to Lakshmi Swayamvaram, then it's going to go into Mohini Avataram. Of Narayana, right? All three, all connected. Okay, we'll start at 27. So maybe Jyoti, you can be a student. Jyoti Dev, and then Harini, you can be a student. Stanza 1. Durvasa Suravanitapta Divyamalyam Shakraya Swayamupadaya Tatra Bhuyah Nagendra Pratimhritite Shashapa Shakram Kakshantis Twaditara Devatam Shajana. So, like we said, like necessarily it doesn't, the Shavatam doesn't follow the exact sequence like we say, because like we said, the Varaha Avataram which happened, it started with Swayam Bhuvo Manurato. It started with the Swayam Bhuva Manu, who's the first Manu, right? And we spoke about all the Manus, so I don't want to get there. Now we are in the Vaivaswata Manu, which is the seventh Manu. This is happening during the sixth Manu. Okay, so the Manu, which was before the seventh Manu. So this is happening in the sixth Manu, which is happening relatively recently, but still like, each Manu has like 71 Chatur Yugams, right? So it's a very long period. But anyway, so at that point in time, Durvasa, who is nothing but an amsham of Shiva, because because he was born to Atri and Anasuya, but it's because of Shiva. So anyway, so that Durvasa, he had a very, it says divine necklace. We don't know exactly what it is, but something very divine. He had given that to Indra. He had got it. This Durvasa had somehow got it from someone, from a very divine, powerful thing. He gave it to Indra. But Indra, what happened was accidentally that Airavata, the elephant on which Indra is actually sitting, that ended up trampling that thing. It ended up breaking whatever Durvasa gave Indra. So, of course, Durvasa got very angry and then he cursed Indra, saying that, I'm giving you something very strong, very powerful and divine, but you don't know how to appreciate it, right? And you are kind of discarding it and then your elephant broke it. So he curses Indra. When that happens, that means the power of Indra is going to go down. So, Durvasas Sura Vanitapta Divya Malyam, Shakraya Swayam Upadhaya Tatra Bhuyah Nagendra Prati Mridite Shashapa Shakram, Ka Kshantis Twaditara Devatam Shajanam. That's one word, Devatam Shajanam. Durvasa Suravanitapta Divyamalyam Shakraya Swayamupadaya Tatra Bhuyah Nagendra Pratimhridite Shashapa Shakram काक्षान्तिस्त्वदितरदेवतांशजानाम्
दुर्वासासुरवनिदप्तदिव्यमाल्यम् शक्राय स्वयमुपदाय तत्र भूयः नागेन्द्रप्रतिमृदिदेशशापशक्रम् काक्षान्दिस्त्वदितरदेवतांशजानाम् दुर्वासासुरवनिदप्तदिव्यमाल्यम् शक्राय स्वयमुपदाय तत्र भूयः नागेन्द्रप्रतिमृदिदेशशापशक्रम् काक्षान्दिस्त्वदितरदेवतांशजानाम्
दुर्वासासुरवनिताप्तदिव्यमाल्यं शक्राय स्वयमुपदाय तत्र भूयः नागेन्द्रप्रतिमृदितेशशापशक्रं काक्षान्तिस्त्वदितरदेवतांशजानाम् दुर्वासासुरवनिताप्तदिव्यमाल्यं शक्राय स्वयमुपदाय तत्र भूयः नागेन्द्रप्रतिमृदितेशशापशक्रं काक्षान्तिस्त्वदितरदेवतांशजानाम्.
This Dasham goes in a nice tune. Both of you, if you're able to slightly change your tune, see if you can match the original. It will sound good, that's all. Otherwise, you're saying it correct. Stanza 2. Shapena pratitajareta nirjarhendre deveshvapyasurajiteshu nishprabheshu sharvadyah kamalajametya sarvadeva nirvana prabhavasamam bhavantamapuhu. So the same kind of consistent story always follows, right? Something happens to Indra, like we saw even the time when he insulted Brihaspati and then he lost his power, right? So this keeps happening in cycles every single time, right? So he loses thing, and which means if Indra loses power, that means the entire gods, all the demigods, they also lose their power, right? They all become weak. So which they always do, they always go to their father, which is Brahma, and then go and say, you please help. So after seeing, when Brahma also sees, that these demigods are completely devoid, Asuras have become very strong. It kind of happens in a cycle. So when that happens, Brahma, Shiva, because it's all of them come and meet you, O Narayana. So they go to the Shweta Deepa where Lord Narayana is resting, Vishnu is resting, and they go there to go pray and request his help. Shapena pratita jareta nirjarendre. So Jare here is referring to old age, but really it is what it is telling is when you become old, you become weak. So that's what it's referring there, where Indra is becoming old, which means he's becoming weak. Deveshvapya sura, one word. Deveshvapya sura jiteshu nishprabheshu sharvadhyaha, put a H, ih to join, sharvadhyah kamala jametya sarva deva. I think some books may have Sarva Devaha. If you have that Visarga, you can remove it. Sarva Deva, comma. Nirvana Prabhava Samam Bhavantamapuhu. Shapena Pratitajareta Nirjarendre Deveshvapyasurajiteshu Nishprabheshu Sharvadyah Kamalajametya Sarvadeva Nirvana Prabhavasamam Bhavantamapuhu.
शापेन प्रथितजरेथ निर्जरेन्द्रे देवेष्वप्यसुरजितेषु निष्प्रभेषु शर्वाद्या कमलजमेत्य सर्वदेव निर्वाणप्रभवसमं भवन्तमापुः शापेन प्रथितजरेथ निर्जरेन्द्रे देवेष्वप्यसुरजितेषु निष्प्रभेषु शर्वाद्याः कमलजमेत्य सर्वदेव निर्वाणप्रभवसमं भवन्तमापुः
शापेन प्रतितजरेत निर्जरेन्द्रे देवेष्वप्यसुरजतेष निष्प्रभेषु शर्वाद्याः कमलजमेत्य सर्वदेवा निर्वाणप्रभवसमं भवन्तमापुः शापेन प्रतितजरेत निर्जरेन्द्रे देवेष्वप्यसुरजितेषु निष्प्रभेषु शर्वाद्यः कमलजमेत्य सर्वदेवा निर्वाणप्रभवसमं भवन्तमापुः.
That's a 3. ब्रह्माद्यै स्तुतमहिमा चिरं तधानीं प्रादुष्यन् वरदपुरः परेण धाम्ना हे देवादितिजकुलैर्विधाय सन्धिं पीयूषं परिमततेति पर्यशास्त्वम्. So they all go to the Shweta Deepa where this Vishnu is residing. And like you said, not everybody has access, right? Brahma is the one amongst all of them. He's directly born out of Narayana. So he has access to some extent. But even Brahma also Chiram, for a long time, he had to be praying. So when Brahma prayed for a long time, the Lord saying, please come, we need your help. So at that time, Bhagavan gives them a darshan. And only Brahma and Shiva are able to even see it. Even the demigods cannot even see God unless he intends to. So he comes and then Brahma says, this is the problem. So of course, Narayana knows all the challenges which are happening. So he says, I know what is happening. He says, right now, the Asuras are at their peak, right? They are very, very strong at this point. And Devas, you are not going to be strong at this for a period of time. So he says, it's no use trying to go and fight against them. You are not going to win against them. So he says, I want you to go do a sandhi. I want you to go do a truce with the Asuras, right? And he says, by doing this, he says, you both go and go churn this milky ocean. You're going to get nectar out of it, right? The Shweta Deepa where Narayana is. He says, you all go team up with the Asuras because there's nectar that's going to be coming. And only if you team, you're going to be able to do it because just the Devas alone, you're not going to be able to get it. Is you go make a truce, tell them you're going to give them a share of it. And with this patience, you be calm. And most important thing that Narayana tells here is, as we go through the process, listen to the instructions I am giving because a lot of conflict is going to happen. So he says, just be patient. You'll eventually get what you deserve, right? So that's the instruction that's been given to them. So Brahmadhyehi, put a is to join. Brahmadhyais stuta mahima chiram tadanim, comma, pradushan varada puraha, put a F to join, puraf parena dhamna, he deva ditija kulair. So Diti's sons, which is referring to the Asuras. So Ditija kulair vidhaya sandhim, comma, piyusham parimatateti paryashastvam. Brahmadhyaistutamahima chiram tadhanim pradushan varadapurah parena dhamna he deva ditija-kulair-vidhaya sandhim piyusham parimatateti paryashastvam.
ब्रह्माद्यैर्स्तुतमहिमा चिरं तदानीं प्रादुष्यन् वरदपुरः परेण धाम्ना हे देवादिविजकुलैर्विधाय सन्धिं पीयूषं परिमथतेति पर्यशास्त्वम् ब्रह्माद्यैस्तुतमहिमा चिरं तदानीं प्रादुष्यन् वरदपुरः परेण धाम्ना हे देवादितिजकुलैर्विधाय सन्धिं पीयूषं परिमथतेति पर्यशास्त्वम्
ब्रह्माद्यैस्तुतमहिमा चिरं तदानीं प्राद्युष्णन् वरदपुरः परेण धाम्ना हे देवादितिजकुलैर्विधाय सन्धिं पीयूषं परिमथतेति पर्यशास्त्वम्.
Harini, the second line, first word, pradushan.
Pradushyan இல்லையா?
இல்ல. No, there's no ya sound there. Just pradushan.
Okay, இங்க bookல இருக்கு. Okay, pradushan.
Yeah.
Okay. ब्रह्माद्यैस्तुतमहिमा चिरं तदानीं प्रादुष्यन् वरदपुरः परेण धाम्ना हे देवादितिजकुलैर्विधाय सन्धिं पीयूषं परिमथतेति पर्यशास्त्वम्.
That's a four. Sandhanam kritavati danavai surauge मन्थानं नयति मदेन मन्दराद्रिं भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् भदरमिवोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ. So at the time, Indra, all these demigods approached the Asura. So Mahabali, who comes in Vamana Avataram much later, is also the ruling king of Asuras at that point. So they all are there for thousands of years or hundreds and thousands of years, right? So Indra approaches Mahabali and says, look, I have a nice plan for both of us. I've been told that there's nectar, immortality. We're all going to become immortal. And for becoming immortal, the Shweta Deepa, where Lord Narayana is, we have to go and get things out of that. So for which we need your help. So a lot of people tell Bali Maharaja, don't do this. We are already winning against the Devas. Why do you want to partner? But they are all greedy also, right? They said, okay, let's go partner because they know the path to that nectar. So they all partner. Now for that, Narayana suggested you bring the Mandara mountain, which is a massive sized mountain. He says you have to go put that mountain into that ocean. All right. And you have to have Vasuki, which is the biggest king of snakes, to then use it as a churning rod. So how do they lift the Mandara mountain? So they all try to lift it, but they're not able to lift it. So at that time, so this three Dashakams, right? It's like Narayana is going to keep coming for help, right? So they're not able to lift that mountain. So they pray. So at that time, you, O Lord, you come Khagendre. Khaga means bird. Indra is king. King of birds is Garuda. So you, O Lord, come on Garuda, and then very easily you lift it. You very easily lift it and then you put it on Garuda so that Garuda will go and place it at the right spot, right? So with that, they go put it in that spot and where they've been asked to put, and then they invite Vasuki, which is the king of snakes, and tell, we need your help also. So they all are getting ready. Sandhanam Kritavati Danavaihi, put is Danavais Surauge, comma, Manthanam Nayati Madena Mandaradrim Bhrashtesmin Badaram Ivodvahan. If you want to break at that ma, Badaram Ivodvahan Khagendre, comma, Sadyastwam Vinihitavan Payaha, put a F to join, Payaf Payodhav. Sandhanam Kritavati Dhanavai Surauge Manthanam Nayati Madena Mandaradrim Bhrashtesmin Badaramivodvahan Khagendre Sadyastwam Vinihitavan Payaf Payodhau.
सन्धानं कृतवदिदा नवैसुरौखे मन्थानं नयति मदेन मन्दराद्रिं भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् बदरमिवोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ सन्धानं कृतवदिदा नवैसुरौखे मन्थानं नयति मदेन मन्दराद्रिं भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् बदरविमोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ
सन्धानं कृतवती दानवैसुरौघै मन्थानं नयति मदेन मन्दराद्रिं भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् बदरमिवोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ सन्धानं कृतवती दानवैसुरौघे मन्थानं नयति मदेन मन्दराद्रिं भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् बदरमिवोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ.
Sounds okay. आधाय द्रुतमत वासुकिं वरत्रां पातोधौ विनिहित सर्वबीजजाले प्रारब्धे मथनविदौ सुरासुरैस्तैः व्याजात्वं भुजगमुखे करोऽसुरारीन्. So then Vasuki, which is a snake that Lord Shiva wears around his head. So they go tell Vasuki, we need your help. And as part of this, whoever participates gets a share, right? So he says, Vasuki, you are also going to get a share. So Vasuki is also obliging. And so now this huge Mandara mountain has been put, right? And this is the size of this later on, it's going to say is just unimaginable, right? So because this is all happening in that Shweta Deepa, it's in a completely different world altogether, right? So they now start, when they start churning now, this snake, right? So the people are going to hold it on two sides. So obviously the tail nobody wants to hold because it's considered inferior. The head is always the stronger portion of the body, right? So devas naturally go towards the head, but asuras are like, no, no, we don't want to be considered inferior because we are holding the tail. So at that time, again, Vishnu comes and tells the devas, listen, you switch. Let the asuras hold the mouth. You hold the tail. Don't argue about these things, right? So anyway, the devas listen to the Lord and then they switch and they end up holding the tail. The asuras end up holding the mouth of Vasuki for churning. So adhaya drutamata Vasukim varatram, comma, patodhau vinihita sarva bija jale prarabde mathana vidhau surasurais taihi. So put a visarga at the end of that line. Surasurais taihi, comma. Next line, vyajatvam. If you have the ir or a r, that will go away. Vyajatvam bhujaga muke karos surarin. Adhaya drutamata varatram patodhau vinihita sarva bijajale prarabdhe matana vidhau surasuraistaihi vyajatvam bhujaga muke karo surarin.
आधाय द्रुतमथवा सुखिं वरत्रां पादोधौ विनिहितः सर्वबीजजाले प्रारब्धे मथनविधौ सुरासुरैस्तैः व्याजा त्वं भुजगमुखे करोऽसुरारीन् आधाय द्रुतमथवा सुखिं वरत्रां पादोधौ विनिहितः सर्वबीजजाले प्रारब्धे मथनविधौ सुरासुरैस्तैः व्याजा त्वं भुजगमुखे करोऽसुरारीन्
आधाय धृतमतवासुकिं वरत्रां पातोद्धौ विनिहित सर्वबीजजाले प्रारब्धे मतनविधौ सुरासुरस्तैः व्याजा त्वं भुजगमुखे करोऽसुरारीन्.
Harini, and the third line, last word, surasuraistaihi.
Surasuraistaihi.
I said sura, asura, two words there. So,
okay. आधाय धृतमतवासुकीं वरत्रां पाथोधौ विनिहित सर्वबीजजाले प्रारब्धे मतनविधौ सुरासुरैस्तैः व्याजा त्वं भुजगमुखे करोऽसुरारीन्.
and the sixth. Shubdhadrau kshubita jalodare tadhanim dugdhabdau gurutara bharato nimagne deveshu vyatitatameshu tatprihaishi pranaishi kamathatanum kathora prishtam. So this massive Mandara mountain, when it is not placed in there and they start the process, immediately what happens is because of the weight, it starts going down. It's heavy, right? Heavy mountain. So it starts sinking down. So when it starts sinking down, they're not able to get a grip to be able to churn, right? They're not able to do that. So at that time, the Devas, of course, need help. So anytime they need help, the God is always available to help. So you then take the form of a massive sized tortoise, which has got a very hard shell, Kathora Prishtam. Kamatha is referring to a tortoise. You take the form of a tortoise with a very hard shell to be able to support this at the bottom so it doesn't sink further, right? So I think one of the important thing, that conversation that happens, between Parikshit and Shukabrahman and Bhagavatam is to say, why is the God taking the form of a fish? Why is he taking the form of like a tortoise, right? Everything is God's creation. There's nothing which is inferior, nothing which is superior, nothing of it. Everything is absolutely equal. Depending on the purpose of what needs to happen, the God takes different forms. Like he took the form of Narasimha because there was a man and animal combination which was required based on the conditions that Hiranyakashipu had put. So similarly here, something is required with a very hard shell or a hard back to be able to support this mountain from the bottom. And any creature which is underwater, which can hold such a strong thing, is the shape like a tortoise, which has got a hard shell. Very simple explanation, right? That's the only reason this form, he took this form of a tortoise, is primarily to support this Mandara mountain for the purpose of churning. So, Kshubdhadrau, Kshubita Jalodare Tadanim, comma, दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतर भारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यतिततमेषु तत्प्रियैषी long e comma pranaishi put a ih or a h to join pranaishi kamatha tanum kathora prishtham क्षुब्धाद्रौ क्षुभितजलोदरे तदानीं दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतरभारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यतिततमेषु तत्प्रियैषीं प्राणैषीः कमठतनुं कठोरपृष्ठाम्
क्षुब्धाद्रौ क्षुभितजलोदरे तदानीं दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतरभारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यथिततमेषु तत्प्रियैषी प्राणैषिः कमडधनुं कठोरपृष्ठाम् क्षुब्धाद्रौ क्षुभितजलोदरे तदानीं दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतरभारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यथिततमेषु तत्प्रियैषी प्राणैषी कमठतनुं कठोरपृष्ठाम्
क्षुब्धाद्रौ क्षुभितजलोदरे तदानीं दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतरभारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यतिततमेषु तत्प्रियैषी प्राणेषिः कटनतनुं कठोरपृष्ठाम्
last line कमठतनुं
कमठतनुं कठोरपृष्ठाम् क्षुब्धाद्रौ क्षुभितजलोदरे तदानीं दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतरभारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यतिततमेषु तत्प्रियैषी प्राणेषिः कमठतनुं कठोरपृष्ठाम्
7 वज्राते स्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णु विस्तारात् परिगतलक्षयोजनेन अम्भोदे कुहरगतेन वर्ष्मणा त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनाथमुन्निनेत. This mountain which was then sinking and coming down to the bottom. So the Lord took the form of a tortoise to then support it from the bottom so he can prop it up, right? Now, the size of this, no, the strength of this, it says is, first of all, we saw in that example, the Narayana Kavacham and the Indra got, and then he was fighting against all these enemies. The Vajram, that a thunderbolt of Indra, which was made from sage Dadichi's bone, it says the shell is strong. That is the strongest, hardest particle, that particular weapon of Indra. We said this is way more harder than that in terms of the strength of the tortoise, right? And in terms of the size of it, it is so massive that this entire Mandara mountain's base was like an inch for the tortoise, right? So that is the size of how this tortoise was. You can imagine the biggest mountain, Mandara mountain, its entire base was only a very small portion for the tortoise. It did not feel anything. It was like a very small itch for you a lot. And then with this, you propped it up and supported. So when this happened, the Devas, Asuras are very happy because now they can begin the process again. So, Vajrati Sthira Tara Karparena Vishnu, comma, Vistarat Parigata Laksha Yojanena Ambodhehe, put a ih to join, Ambodeh Kuhara Gatena Varshmanatvam, comma, Nirmagnam Kshitidharanatham, that's one word, Kshitidharanatham Unninetha. You can break at that mark. Vajrate sthiratarakarpareణ Vishnu vistarat parigata lakshayojane ambodhe kuharagatena varshmanatvam nirmagnam kshitidharanathmunnineta.
वज्रादिस्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णो विस्तारात् परिगतलक्षयोजनेन अम्बोदेः कुहरगतेन वर्क्ष्मणा त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनाथमुन्निनेथ वज्रादिस्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णो विस्तारात् परिगतलक्षयोजनेन अम्बोदेः कुहरगतेन वर्ष्मणा त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनाथमुन्निनेथ.
वज्रातिस्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णो विस्तारात् परिगतलक्षयोजनेन अम्बोदेः कुहरगतेन वर्ष्मणा त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनाथमुन्निनेथ वज्रातिस्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णो विस्तारात् परिगतलक्षयोजनेन अम्बोदेः कुहरगतेन वर्ष्मणा त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनाथमुन्निनेथ.
That's it. उन्मग्ने झटिति तदा धराधरेन्द्रे निर्मेतुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितयगणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विभृदस्तान्. So there are three parties who are right now involved in this process, right? One, the Devas, the Asuras, and Vasuki, the snake. Each of them have different kind of energy, different gunas, right? The Devas generally have more sattva guna. They also have rajas and tamas. They're generally more pure. And then, the demons, they have a lot of passion in them. So they have more rajas in them. And the snake, being an animal, a lot of ignorance and anger, has got a lot of tamoguna. So each of them has, what happens is when they all three are struggling here, they keep trying, but nothing is happening. So they're all getting very tired. So at the time, the Lord, then he comes and he has to energize them. So he has to energize them in different ways. So he says, you go to each of them in different ways. So for the Devas, there's more positive energy is needed to energize them. So you do the same thing. For the Asuras, it's a little bit of more of, you have to ignite more passion in them. So they get more passionate about it and start doing it. So with this, you go to each of them and you strengthen them so they continue. It's going to be a long process, right? They first try, then it's going down. Then you came as a tortoise, you propped it. Now they don't have any energy. So you have to go energize them. So he's doing all the things possible so that right things come out later. So they're all putting in the effort. Unmagne jhatiti tada dharadharendre, nirmetur dridamiha sammadena sarve avishya dvitaya ganepi sarparaje, vaivashyam parishamayan nabhivrida. So that word is got a double na there. Parishamayan nabhivridhastan. Unmagne झटिति तदा धराधरेन्द्रे निर्मेतुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितयगणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विवृधस्तान्.
उन्मग्ने छडिदि तदा धराधरेन्द्रे निर्मेधुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितयगणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विवृधस्तान्. उन्मग्ने छडिदि तदा धराधरेन्द्रे निर्मेधुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितयगणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विवृधस्तान्.
उन्मग्ने झटिति तदा धराधरेन्द्रे निर्मेतुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितयगणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विवृधस्तान्. उन्मग्ने झटिति तदा धराधरेन्द्रे निर्मेतुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितयगणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विवृधस्तान्.
That's right. Uddhama brahmanajavonnamad-girindra-न्यस्तैकस्थिरतरहस्त pankajam त्वाम् अभ्रान्ते विधिगिरिशादयः प्रमोदात् उद्भ्रान्तानुनुगुरुपादपुष्पवर्षाः. So now they are all energized. They continue to churn now. But like we know in physics, when you churn something really fast and it starts spinning, it goes up, right? Because starts going up, right? So which is what is happening. They're all so energized. They churn it really fast, the mountain. Now the mountain is beginning to go up. So again, Bhagavan Narayana has to come to help. So now what he does is you take another form, and then you come and then you go put your hand on top of the mountain. So essentially, if you kind of look at it in a different perspective, they are all trying to get something, something they want to get, nectar. It could be anything you want in your life, right? So first, what they do, they go pray and say, we need your help, because without your help, we cannot do it. The tools which are required to get the result was also provided. Mandara mountain, the god Bhagavan Narayana only helped bring the Mandara mountain. The mountain starts going down, sinking, so things are not working out. Who propels them from bottom? It's the same Narayana who's propelling them from bottom. Then they're running out of energy. They're tired. Their pursuits are not working. Who's energizing them? It's the same Lord who's energizing them. Now, with the energy, things are now going to the other extreme. It's beginning to go up. Again, the same Lord is coming and helping them from the top, right? So this is essentially what it is going to tell is, at the end of the day, all these people think they are the ones who are doing things, right? But every single aspect of it is without God's blessings, nothing is going to be happening here. But everybody is going to think they are doing it, right? They are the ones who are putting the effort, and they are the ones who need to get the rewards for it. So Uddhama, Brahmana, Javonnamad, Girindra, and then put a plus, Nyastaika, Sthira, Tara, Hasta, Pankajam, Tvam. So those two lines are together. Abhrante, Vidhi, Girishadayah, put a F to join. Vidhi, Girishadayah, Pramodat, put a it at the end of that line, comma. Next line, if you have a du, that becomes a u. Udbhranta, Nunuvuru, Pata, Pushpa, Varshaha. उद्धाम भ्रमणजवोन्नमद्गिरीन्द्रन्यस्तैकस्थिरतरहस्तपङ्कजं त्वाम् अभ्रान्ते विधिगिरिशादयः प्रमोदात् उद्भ्रान्तानुनुवुरुपात पुष्पवर्षाः. Just one time.
उत्थाम भ्रमणजवो नमद्गिरीन्द्रन्यस्त्यैक स्थिरधरहस्तपङ्कजं त्वाम् अभ्रान्ते विधिगिरिशादयः प्रमोदात् उद्भ्रान्तानुनुवुरुपात पुष्पवर्षाः.
उद्धाम गिरीन्द्रन्यस्तैकस्थिरतरहस्तपङ्कजं त्वाम् अभ्रान्ते विधिगिरिशादयः प्रमोदात् उद्भ्रान्तानुनुवुरुपात पुष्पवर्षाः.
Arini, on the first line, Javonna, double na there. Javonna.
Javonna Yes,
correct. Yeah, two nas there. Okay. That's it. Dhaityoge bhujagamukanilen tapte tenaiv tridashakulepi kinchidharte karunya tava kila deva varivaha pravarshannamaragana daitya sanghan. So now this Vasuki, the snake, as they start churning over a period of time, it is also getting, it's a poisonous snake. So what happens is, the way it lets out its energy is through poison. So when from the mouth of the snake, poisonous fumes start coming. So remember, the Asuras, the Devas were first holding the mouth, and then the Asuras were holding the tail, and then they wanted to switch. So Narayana told the Devas, just listen to me, take the tail. So because they are now taking the tail and the Asuras are holding the mouth, they are directly getting impacted with the poisonous fumes which are actually coming from Vasuki. And the Devas were less impacted because they're holding the tail end of it, right? So with this, O Lord, another way you came and helped out the Devas who sought your help. So which is, you continue to help them, so they were not getting tired with the poisonous fumes. Daityoghe bhujaga mukhanilena tapte, te naiva tridasha kulepi kinchidarte karunyat tava kila deva vari vahaha, pravarshan namara. It's pravarshan amara, but that becomes double na there. So pravarshan namara ganan na daitya sanghan. Again, double na coming there. So ganan न दैत्यसङ्घान् दैत्यौघे भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्यात् तव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन्नमरगणान्न दैत्यसङ्घान्
दैत्यौखे भुजगमुखा निलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्यात् तव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन्नमरगणान्न दैत्यसङ्घान्
दैत्यौघे भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्यात् तव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन्नमरगणान्न दैत्यसङ्घान् दैत्यसङ्घान्.
All right, let's just switch. It's halfway point. Lalita Murli, you can be student, and Priya Narayanan, you can be student.
Okay.
11. उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्धौ चिरमतितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्. So despite helping in all these ways, nothing is coming out, right? So they're all getting frustrated, because you all put the effort, absolutely nothing is happening, right? So eventually Narayana decides, you know what, I myself will do it. I've already helped you so many ways. Still, you guys are not enthusiastic about it. I myself will do it. So you, O Lord, go hold both the ends of Vasuki's and then start churning it, right? And says, you look so fantastic doing it, because all these devas, asuras together are not able to do it, but you are now taking it over and completely doing it, right? So now, again, all of this is, you have to think of it as the Lord has to come in different forms. First, he has to come in the form of the kamata, in the form of a tortoise. Then he has to come in one form to protect it from top. Then he now has to take a different form to now start churning both. You already mentioned the relative size of it, right? If he has to hold both the ends of the snake. And in 28, another form is going to come. 29 more forms are going to come. So anyway, so with this, Guru Varapa, please eradicate all the ailments I have. And this portion is done. Udbhramyat bahu timi nakra chakravale, tatrabdau chira matitepi nirvikare ekastvam kara yuga krishta sarparajah, samrajan pavanapuresha pahi rogat. उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्धौ चिरमतितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्.
उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्धौ चिरमथितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्.
2 times to ignore it.
उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्धौ चिरमतितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्.
उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्धौ चिरमतितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्. उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्धौ चिरमतितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Dasakam 28. It's an easy chapter only. It's got multiple things happening there. At least I'll give the description which is in my book. It is Amrita Mathane Kalakutat Utpatti Varnanam. So Kalakutat Utpatti Varnanam. Lakshmi Swayamvara Varnanam. Amrutotpatti Varnana. Amrutam Utpatti Varnanam. Okay, three things, but we'll go through it. A lot of things are going to come anyways. Same tune. Garalam Taralanalam Purastate Jaladherudvijagala Kalakutam Amarastuti Vadamodhanigno Girishastan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartam. So finally, now after long effort, then first thing that is coming out of it is this molten poison, like a molten fire called Kala Kutam. So it is like a black poison which is actually coming out first out of this churning from the ocean, right? So this Kala Kutam, of course, because it is so poisonous and so hot, the fumes which are coming from that, it is just becoming unbearable for everybody. So everybody is getting suffocated because of the poisonous fumes which are actually coming. So they all rush to say, who can help us out? So at the time, Brahma says, this Shiva who's present here, he's the one who's going to help us out. So with that, because Shiva is the Ashutoshi, means one who can be satisfied instantly. So they do a stuti to Shiva to say, please help us out in this. So Shiva then starts consuming that Kalakutam poison. So that is when at some point, he's been told to stop, because of which it then rests in his neck, right? So because of which it's called Neelakantam. Neelakantam because he's referring to the peacock actually. Original definition of Neelakantam is a peacock, because the peacock has like the blue-green kind of a color in its neck. Because Shiva drank the poison and it got stuck there and it starts looking like that, he's also called as Neelakantam. So anyway, so you, Shiva, you came to help out in this process, right? Because to get rid of this Kalakutam poison by consuming it. So, Garalam Taralanalam Purastat. Put a it at the end of that line, comma. Next line in Sanskrit, if you have a ij, that will go away. Jaladher Udvijagala Kalakutam Amara Stutivada Moda Nigno, comma. Girishas Tan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartam. Garalam Taralanalam Purastate Jaladherudvijagala Kalakutam Amarastuti Vadamodhanigno Girishastan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartam.
Garalam Taralanalam Purastat Jaladherudvijagala Kalakutam Amarastuti Vadamodhanigno Girishastan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartham. Garalam Taralanalam Purastat Jaladherudvijagala Kalakutam Amarastuti Vadamodhanigno Girishastan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartham.
Garalam taralanalam purastat Jaladerudvijagala kalakutam Amarastuti Vadamodanigno Girishastan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartham. Garalam taralanalam purastat Jaladerudvijagala kalakutam Amarastuti Vadamodanigno Girishastan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartham.
Answer 2. Vimatat susura sureshu jata surabestam rishishunyadhastridhaman hayaratnam abhutate bharatnam dhyutarushchap sarasas sureshu tani. So now that the poison is out of the way, because Asuras and Devas, they now continue the process, right? They start churning. So the second thing that's coming out of this is the Surabhi or Kamadhenu, the celestial cow, is coming out of this. So at that time, the mediator, because it's Asuras on one side, Devas on one side, the mediator here is Narayana, right? He's the one who's mediating. He's saying, okay, look, the cow is supposed to give everything one person wants, but primarily the rishis who are there in the other worlds, upper worlds, so they need the cow for other purposes. So they say, for them, you give the cow. So the Kamadhenu goes to the rishis. Then there is a horse called as Uchai Shravas. Okay, this Uchai Shravas horse comes, which is a very powerful white horse, and that horse is now comes to Bali Maharaja wanted that. So Narayana says, okay, Bali, you take that Uchai Shravas horse. Next, the thing which is coming is, so the Kalpaka tree, the wish fulfilling tree comes, so that is given to Indra. Then all these celestial nymphs come, so that goes to the Asuras. So with this, you start distributing the various things which are actually coming there. You start giving it to the Asuras and the Devas. The Apsaras are coming, so they go to the gods. So everybody is, whatever is coming, they are just kind of distributing it between the Asuras and the Devas. Vimatatsu surasureshu jata, put a plus, surabhis tam rishishu nyadhas tridhaman haya ratnama bhutateba. So that word is haya ratnam abhutateba. You can break it that ma if you want, or you can say it together. Haya ratnama bhutateba ratnam, comma, dyutarush chap sarasaha, put the is to join, chap sarasas sureshu tani. Vimatat susura, sorry, after the jata and the first line there's a plus, so the first two lines are together. Vimatat susura sureshu jata surabhistam brishishunyadhastridhaman hayaratnam bhutate bharatnam dhyutarushchap sarasas sureshu tani.
विमतत्सु सुरासुरेषु जाता सुरभिस्तां ऋषिषु न्यधास्त्रिदामन् हयरत्नमभूतते भरत्नं द्युतरुश्चाप्सरस्सुरेषु तानि.
Last line, sarasas sureshu tani.
सरसस्सुरेषु तानि. विमतत्सु सुरासुरेषु जाता सुरभिस्तां ऋषिषुन्य दास्त्रिदामन् हयरत्नमभूतते भरत्नं द्युतरुश्चाप्सरस्सुरेषु तानि.
Later on the last line, sarasas, the sarasaha,
Yeah.
is will come there.
द्युतरुश्चाप्सरसस्सुरेषु तानि.
विमतत्सु सुरासुरेषु जातः सुरभिस्तां ऋषुषु तां ऋषुषु.
And the word on the tam, rishishu.
ऋषिषु, okay. तां ऋषिषु न्यदास्त्रिदामन् हयरत्नमभूत ते भरत्नं द्युतरुश्चाप्सरसस्सुरेषु तानि. विमतत्सु सुरासुरेषु जातः सुरभिस्तां ऋषिषु न्यदास्त्रिदामन् हयरत्नमभूत ते भरत्नं द्युतरुश्चाप्सरसस्सुरेषु तानि.
Jagadhish bhavat tadhanim kamaniya kamala bhabhuva devi amalam avalokyayam vilolaha sakalopis prihayam bhabhuva lokaha. So all these things which came right now, there's been no fight. Everybody's clear. Okay, you take this, I take this, no conflict, right? Everything is going fine. Then from there comes something which is shining like bright like electricity, right? Like literally illuminating that entire place. So that is Mahalakshmi herself is coming out of that place. So now when Mahalakshmi is coming, that it illuminates that entire place. She's looking extremely beautiful. And of course, Devi, right? So she's looking so pretty that now everybody wants her. Now there is going to be a conflict because now Devas feel they have the right to have her. The Asuras feel they need to have. And everybody else who's present there also feels, other than Gandharvas, Siddhas, others also present. Everybody feels that, you know what, we need to have this lady who has come out because it is very clear that she is going to be the source of all prosperity. So whoever has her is going to get all the prosperous things. So of course, everybody wants to have her now. Jagadisha Bhavatpara Tadanim, comma. But here Bhattacharya is already telling in the beginning, he says, people can wish, but at the end of the day, Lakshmi, you are there for Narayana. You know, that's what you are there for. People can wish what they want. So Bhavatpara Tadanim, comma. Kamaniya Kamala Bhabuva Devi, long in. Amalam Avalokya. You can break at that ma. Amalam Avalokya Yam Bilolaha, comma. Sakalopi Sprihayam Bhabuva Lokaha. जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीया कमला बभूव देवी अमलामवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बभूव लोकः
जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीया कमला बभूव देवी अमलामवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बभूव लोकः जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीया कमला बभूव देवी अमलामवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बभूव लोकः
जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीया कमला बभूव देवी अमलामवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बभूव लोकः जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीया कमला बभूव देवी अमलामवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बभूव लोकः
त्वहि दत्तहृदे तथैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारीत् सकलोपहृताभिषेचनीयैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिगीर्भिरभ्यषिञ्चन्. Sort of everybody wants to woo her, right? So everybody wants to contribute something towards it. So Indra is coming and getting her a place to sit, then somebody is going and getting all the sacred rivers from the worlds, Ganges, everything, and getting the water. Then somebody is coming and getting all the items which are required for the Abhishekam, because they're going to do an Abhishekam in the next stanza. So they're getting all the things required for that. And then the rishis who are there, they also start, having chanting Vedic mantras, praising the Devi, right? Kind of because welcoming her. So, Tvai datta hride tadaiva devyai, Tridashendro mani pitikam vyatharit Sakalopahrita So that entire word is together. You cannot break it. It's Sakala Upahrita Abhishechaniyai. So you cannot break that. So Sakalopahrita Abhishechaniyai. Add a visarga at the end, in comma. Next line, the Rishayastam, there is a ir that will go away. Rishayastam Shruti Girbhir Abhyashinchan. We can break at that ra. Girbhir Abhyashinchan. Tvahi datta hridhe tadhaiva devyai Tridashendro manipitikam vyatarit Sakalopahritaabhishechaniyaihi Rishayastam Shrutigirбhirabhyashinchan.
त्वयि दत्तहृते तदैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारीत् सकलोपहृदाभिषेचनीयैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिगीर्भिरभ्यषिञ्चन् त्वयि दत्तहृते तदैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारीत् सकलोपहृताभिषेचनीयैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिगीर्भिरभ्यषिञ्चन्
त्वयि दत्तहृदे तदैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारीत् सकलोपहृतभिषेचनीयैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिगिर्भिरभ्यषिञ्चन्.
Priya, the third line. Sakalo pahritaabhi. A sound. Pahritaabhi
शेचनैः
Niyaihi.
नीयैः त्वयि दत्तहृदे तदैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारीत् सकलोपहृताभिषेचनीयैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिगिर्भिरभ्यषिञ्चन्.
That's right. Abhisheka jalanupati mugdattvadapangairabhabhushitangavallīm मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्ताम् अमरादयोन्वभूषन्. So more there, so the sages who are there now, they do start doing an abhishekam, right? So they start, first putting the holy waters on the Devi, and then all of them are chanting all the mantras, and everybody who is there, is kind of participating. So first they do the abhishekam, then they do an alankaram. So they get her ready because they're going to give her a choice because everybody wants to marry her. So they're going to give her a choice. So they're getting her ready right now. So with that, Saraswati Devi is giving her something. So Brahma is giving something. So a lot of people are coming there and offering her different things to get ready. So Abhisheka Jalanupati Mugdha, put a plus, Tvada Pangairava Bhushitanga Vallim, long E, Vallim. So those two lines are together. Mani Kundala Pita Chela Hara, plus again. Pramukhais tam, you can break it that ma. Pramukhais tam amaradayonva bhushan. That word is together. Abhisheka jalanupati mugdattvadapangairavabhushitangavallim Manikundala pita chelahara pramukhais tam amaradayonva bhushan.
अभिषेकजलानुपातिमुग्धत्वदपाङ्गैरवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीं मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्तामराधयोन्वभूषन् अभिषेकजलानुपात पातिमुग्धत्वदपाङ्गैरवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीं मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्ताम मरादयोन्वभूषन्
अभिषेकजलानुपातिमुग्धत्वदपाङ्गैरवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीं मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्ताम् अमरादयोन्वभूषन् पाङ्गैरवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीं मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्ताम् अमरादयोन्वभूषन्.
So 6. Varanasrajamata Dhadati sa kuchakumbabandhayana Padashinjita manjunu puratvam Kalitavrila vilasa masasada. So no, sorry, my video went off. So now that Mahalakshmi is ready, so they say, okay, because everybody wants you, right? So we give the choice to you. So they give her a wedding garland and say, you pick who you want to be, who you want to marry. So she is then now walking around with the garland, right? And then, like we're discussing, she's very beautiful. There's a lot of description about how pretty she is. At the same time, she's also feeling a little, like a shy. Kalita Vrila Vilasam, saying you're like a bride, right? She's feeling a little shy. It's a Swayamvaram right now. She has to go pick who she wants to marry. Varana Srajam Ata Bringa Nadam, Dhadati Sa Kucha Kumbha Manda Yana Pada Shinjita Manju Nupura Twam, Kalita Vrila Vilasam Asasada. You can break it that ma. Vilasam Asasada. Varanasrajamata Bhringanadham Dhadati sa Kuchakumbha Mandayana Padashinjita Manjunu Puratvam Kalitavrila Vilasamasasada.
वर्णस्रजमातभृङ्गनादां दधति सा कुचकुम्भमन्दयाना पदशिञ्जितमञ्जुनूपुरा त्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद वर्णस्रजमातभृङ्गनादां दधति सा कुचकुम्भमन्दयाना पदशिञ्जितमञ्जुनूपुरा त्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद
वरणसृजं सृजमातभृङ्गनादां ददती सा कुजकुम्भमन्दयानां पदशिञ्जितमञ्जुनूपुरा त्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद
பிரியா அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லைன்ல வரண ஸ்ரஜம்
स्रजम् ओके वरणस्रजमातभृङ्गनादां ददती सा कुचकुम्भमन्दयानां पदशिञ्जितमञ्जुनूपुरा त्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद
That's a 7. गिरिशद्रुहिणादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽप्यविमुक्तदोषलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला. There's everybody present there. All the gods, demigods are there. All the gods are there. Then all the other people like the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Siddhas, everybody is there. All the rishis are there. All the asuras are there. Now Mahalakshmi has this garland. Now she has to pick who can I, garland, right? And when she starts walking, and I'll give some little explanation here, right? Because Bhagavatam is so beautiful. They give every person, they keep saying how every person has a little bit of dosham, right? Somebody might have a lot of austerity and everything in there, but they are known to have a little bit of anger. Then somebody might have a lot of knowledge, but they might not have conquered all the other senses and the material desires. Then somebody might have a lot of lusty desires who are there. Then even a person like Indra, they themselves are weak, because that's what the whole purpose is because the gods have lost the power, right? So they could be a demigod, but then they also do not have, what you call strength all the time. Then of course, asuras have a lot of faults in all of them. Then, see, she kind of goes through this entire list of every single person who is there and says even Lord Brahma, who's there, he is also not perfect. He also has a lifespan. And he himself, if you remember, does not have all the knowledge that is required. He has to rely on somebody else to get that initial knowledge. So when she goes around, she finds that everybody, although they have 90% good, 95% good, dosha, leshan, they all have some fault in them. And she's trying to find the perfect groom for herself, for her. So she says, when she starts doing this, she says, there's nobody else in this world other than you, Narayana, who's perfect. So she then takes that mala, so Divya Mala, Tvayanayap. She goes and takes that mala and puts it on you, Narayana, because you are the perfect in every way. There's no dosham one can actually find, and everybody is reliant on you, but you are reliant on nobody. Right? And you never, like we saw in Narasimha Avatar also, it's not anger, it's just an exhibition of anger, right? Inherently, you don't have any anger, you don't have any dosham, and there's no end to you, there's no beginning or no end to you. So when she does all this comparison, she says you are the right match for her. So she goes and puts the garland on the Narayana who's standing there. So Girisha Druhinadi Sarva Devan, Guna Bhajopya Vimukta. That's one word. Guna Bhajopya Vimukta Dosha Leshan Avamrishya Sadaiva Sarva Ramye, Nihita Tvayanayapi Divyamala. Girisha Druhinadi Sarva Devan Gunabhajopya Vimukta Dosha Leshan Avamrishya Sadaiva Sarvaramhe Nihita Tvayanayapi Divyamala.
गिरिशद्रिहिणादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽभ्यविमुक्तदोषशेषान् लेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला गिरिशद्रिहिणादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽभ्यविमुक्तदोषलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला
गिरिशद्रुहिणादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽप्यविमुक्तदोषलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला गिरीशद्रुहिणादि सर्वदेवान् गुणबाजोऽप्यविमुक्तदोषलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला.
I was debating whether to finish this or not, or just leave it at this, but I'm thinking I'll just 3 more stanzas. I'll say the meaning in the next class. We'll finish the 3 stanzas of today. Urasa tarasa mamani thainam, comma, bhuvananam jananim ananya. You can break it that ma. Jananim ananya bhavam. Twaduro bilasatta dhikshana shri, put a plus, parivristya pari pushtamasa vishwam. So just one time you can repeat. Urasa tarasa mamani thainam bhuvananam janani mananya bhavam twaduro bilasatta dhikshana shri parivristya paripushtamasa vishwam.
Urasa tarasa mamani thainam bhuvananam janani mananya bhavam twaduro vilasatta dikshana shri parivristya paripushtamasa vishwam.
Urasa tarasa mamani tainam bhuvananam janani mananya bhavam twaduro vilasatta dikshana shri parivristya paripushtamasa vishwam.
Atimohana vibhrama tadanim, comma, madayanti khalu varuni niragat tamasaha, put a F, tamasaf padavim, you can break it that ma, padavim adas tvamenam, put a im at the end of that line, tvamenam, comma. Next line, the mati becomes ati. Ati sammananaya mahasurebhyah. Atimohana vibhramatadhanim madayanti khalu varuni niragat tamasaf padavi madastvamenam ati sammananaya mahasurebhyah.
Atimohana vibhrama tadanim madayanti khalu varuni niragat tamasaf padavi madastvamenam atisammananaya mahasurebhyah.
Atimohana vibhramatadanim madayanti kalu varuni niragat tamasaf padavim vim adas tvamenam atisammanananya mahasurebhyah.
And the last, ati sammananaya.
Sammananaya. Okay.
Tarunambhuda sundaras tada tvam nanu dhanvantarir, you can break it that ru, dhanvantarir uttitom bhurashehe, that's one word, uttitom bhurashehe amritam kalashe vahan karabhyam, put a im at the end of that line, comma. Next line, the ma becomes a akhilartim har marutala yesha. Tarunambuda sundharastadhatvam nanu dhanvantarirutthitom bhurashehe amritam kalashe vahan karabhyam akhilarthim haramarutalayesha.
Tarunambuda sundarastadhatvam nanu dhanvan tarirutthitom burashehe amrutam kalashe vahankarabhyam akhilartim haramarutalayesha.
You can say 2 times later. No, we have a couple minutes. So.
Tarunambuda sundarastadhatvam nanu dhanvantarirutthitom burashehe amrutam kalashe vahankarabhyam akhilartim haramarutalayesha.
Tarunambuda sundarastadhatvam nanu dhanvantarir uttitom burashehe amritam kalashe vahan karabhyam अखिलार्तिं हर मारुतालयेश तरुणाम्बुदसुन्दरस्तदा त्वं ननु धन्वन्तरिरुत्थितोऽम्बुराशेः अमृतं कलशे वहन् कराभ्याम् अखिलार्तिं हर मारुतालयेश।
श्री कृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः। सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावधिभ्यां निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनरुरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावद्भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Rajesh.
See you next week.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.